Welcome to the Indie Corner, where we talk about all things independent comics, specifically the greatest superhero comic book in the universe, Robert Kirkman's Invincible. I'm Mikey.
I'm Christian.
I am Matt.
And today we're back at it again with the 5th episode, doing more side material this time. But we're going to go back to the main story next episode, so don't worry. So then we'll be introducing 2 new characters that show up throughout the Invincible story briefly in events and stuff like that. So we got SuperPatriot and Tech Jacket, and as well as we're going to return to an old character that we've been talking about for a while, Brit in Brit Cold Death #1, as well as a little small story in the Image Summer Special. So yeah.
Yeah, it's great fun, I guess.
It is great fun. So Matt's going to talk about SuperPatriot War on Terror, and all of these like stories take place in between after where we left off, which was issue 8. From I don't remember where we start back up again, but it takes place in between, so it's in the timeline. So don't worry about it. But before I say anything, I know Matt's going to do SuperPatriot right now, but I want to say that SuperPatriot isn't a Robert Kirkman creation. He was created by Eric Larson, and he was introduced in Savage Dragon #1.
Oh my god, of course he was.
Yeah, boy!
I don't like Eric Larson, and I don't like Savage Dragon. And guess what, y'all? I don't like SuperPatriot either.
Savage Dragon's great. What do you mean?
He's cool.
I know. I don't.
Halfway through, it's great.
Eric Larson left Marvel and was like, I want to draw more Hulk, and then put a fin on his head and call it a new character. Savage Dragon sucks.
But listen, I think his art's not that bad, but I think his art's pretty cool. But his Spawn stuff's pretty nice.
I understand the appeal. His art's very 90s, and I'm not a big fan of it, but I understand why people like it.
Yeah.
We're not talking about Savage Dragon. We're talking about SuperPatriot.
Exactly. But the reason why SuperPatriot is even talked about is because Robert Kirkman, before he did Invincible, he was offered to do a SuperPatriot book first. And that's why he kept continuing it. So, all right. Matt?
Okay, so SuperPatriot is a really okay, so first of all, I have to establish this issue is called SuperPatriot War on Terror. And if that doesn't cement it in the early 2000s, man, I don't know what does. Except for the rest of this fucking issue. This is the most early 2000s shit I have ever read. So SuperPatriot is clearly inspired by Captain America, except he's a post 9/11 Captain America, where he's kind of edgy and cool, I guess.
Yeah.
So he's depressed
and super
depressed.
Yeah.
And his first opening event, fighting Nick Fury with S.H.I.E.L.D. Because that's literally what it is.
Wait a minute, that's not a minute.
I don't think he sees himself as Nick Fury, Matt.
Man, I don't know what his name is.
Yeah, I don't even know.
He's just
this motherfucker.
Guard.
He leads a group called Guard, which is an acronym. But, I mean, that's not even subtle.
We don't know.
Except here's the thing: it's not Guard. It's Hydro. It's Hydro.
Yeah.
And SuperPatriot is here to shoot him in the face, which is literally what he does.
Yeah.
He's there to take movies.
Yeah.
What?
He's getting his blockbuster.
Movies.
Oh, that's right. That's an important detail. He's at a fucking Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Granted, obviously, because it's 2020. I don't remember the last time I was in a Blockbuster. I had to have been 7.
Dude, the last time I was at a Blockbuster, I got a video game or something from there, rented or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I did. I rented
Blockbuster. Yeah. I stole a video game, and I remember which one it was. It was SpongeBob SquarePants drawn to life, and that game was fucking
I remember
awesome.
That game.
Yes, I 100% completed it. It was great.
But
R.I.P. to Blockbuster, though. Real shit.
This is a bit of a tangent, but I was talking to some people just recently about Blockbuster, and some of our friends have never been to a Blockbuster because we're so young.
Unfortunate.
I know. I know.
Unfortunate.
Old.
But anyway, SuperPatriot, he's at Blockbuster, he gets his movies, and he blows everything up. Meanwhile, there's an old dude. He keeps cutting back this old dude throughout the entire issue, and he just keeps getting shit on. This waitress dumps his milk. Is it milk?
Milk.
think
real men drink milk.
Yeah, I think it's water, or is it milk? I thought it was water.
It's probably water, but it looks like milk. Like he dumps milk on him. Later, a lady in the parking lot yells at him. I don't even remember why. And then he also, I'm just gonna go through his entire story now for sympathy. Yeah. It does not intersect with Super Patriot at all.
Yeah.
Some kids throw a baseball through his window, and so he's like, "All right, I'm done. I'm gonna put on a Nazi costume and become the Nazi boy." I assume he has some super villain name. But I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I just find it funny that like that one panel where after he gets that guy he rear ends that one guy, gets in an accident. He has like a close up shot of him with a background of fire just to like show his rage. Yeah. That was funny.
And that's something about this issue that I actually do like a lot. I think the art is consistently pretty good.
Yeah. E.J. Sue is the artist.
Okay.
I've never heard of him.
I'm being honest, I don't like the Super Patriots design.
I don't either.
What's that guy from Ghost in a Shell? The one with the fake eyes?
I don't know.
Hey, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't know Ghost in the Shell.
I don't know Ghost in the Shell either, bro. Yeah, man.
That's all right.
But the art's pretty good though. The art's good.
I like
it's colored. It's colored interesting. It's colored in an interesting way.
Clean, and I like it.
Yeah.
So Super Patriot goes to talk to his wife, who's in a meeting, and then they go home and they have.
You're just gonna skip over the fact that his mom is there?
Because in the meeting, it's actually Deborah Grayson that his wife is talking to.
I whole ass missed that.
Yeah, that was cool, bro.
It's been so long since I read this book, man. I don't remember what's going on. Yeah.
Well, okay, I'll just say it right now. So essentially, she's talking to Super Patriot's wife, who's a lawyer. Essentially, talking about the settlements, the money settlement with Nolan, Omni-Man's book and stuff. Because where we left off in issue 8, obviously Invincible and Omni-Man fought, and Invincible got his ass destroyed, and Omni-Man left. And so the way that Cecil and the Pentagon decided to cover it up is that like he died in a car accident.
Right.
So she's just talking to the wife about like the money settlements to make sure the money is like they have a good source of revenue to keep themselves afloat, essentially.
Okay.
Since I'm canonically horrible with names, I wrote her name down. It's Claire.
Claire.
And Super Patriot's name is I wrote down Johnny. I'm pretty sure I meant Jimmy.
Jimmy?
Oh no, Johnny. Oh
Johnny?
Yeah.
All right.
It could have been Johnny.
Yeah.
I just want to say also, this scene in Super Patriot, it's actually the same scene is repeated in Invincible as well.
Oh, so what you're saying is we really did read this.
Yeah. Because thing is, like when I first read Invincible,
what I'm hearing here is that we didn't need to read this.
Well, it's whatever. Thing is, like when I first read Invincible, I saw that scene and I was like, okay, just some dude. I didn't know who the fuck Super Patriot was. And then now seeing this, I was like, I see what Kirkman's doing. Okay.
Yeah. And then Super Patriot goes to fight the brain of Adolf Hitler. And I'm gonna be honest, I thought this scene was a lot of fun.
It was fun.
It's very clearly the whole issue is a parody of Captain America, and this is really leading into it because every Cap villain is like this, right? Every Cap villain is a Nazi who survives over and over again. Like this one, exactly. And so I thought that was really clever, and I thought that was funny. I still don't like Super Patriot as a character, but that scene was kind of neat. And then he goes home and talks to his wife some more, and they decide to have a baby. And that's the end of the issue.
I want to talk a little bit more about that whole baby thing.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
The conversation starts off with, hey, you didn't put the seat down.
Oh my God, yeah.
That was kind of funny.
No, it wasn't. I didn't think it was funny at all. This is another, I talked about this in our first episode.
Yeah.
A character went off about wanting to be called by their first name, right?
Yeah.
And it very much felt like Robert Kirkman just complaining about his life in the comic.
Was it William?
And this feels exactly the same. This is not a character talking to his wife. This is Robert Kirkman yelling at the audience.
Kirkman's opportunity. No one gets to talk back to him just to be like,
Exactly.
all right, listen, this is my viewpoints of whether or not I should leave the seat up or down.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
Man
know,
explains it.
the night before he wrote this, he had a similar argument with his wife that did not go this well. It went probably very poorly. And so now he's writing his book like, I'll show her. I'll show her.
Crying at his computer.
Watch me embarrass my wife in a comic book.
Show the world how stupid bitchy she is.
Yeah, but I remember back from like the early episodes that we were on. You really don't like William just because of that.
No, I don't. It's so stupid.
Yeah, and in addition to that, let me just finish my thing.
Yeah,
At the end of it, it was just like, hey, do you want to have a baby? And then Claire was like, yeah, okay. And that's it.
Yeah. It's entirely just tacked on to this rant.
Which is weird because like
so weird.
Which is weird because like Super Patriot is a cyborg, right? He's a cyborg-ish. Like
Yeah.
I don't. So I guess he still has his love sausage.
Lying.
But
Maybe.
Anyway, there was one scene that you missed over with the conversation that they had earlier when he gets the blockbuster. Yeah, when Claire comes in, his wife.
Oh yeah, his kids died.
Yeah, there's like these transitional panels of him just sitting there, and like he's very like you can tell like he's very depressed, and like turns out that like she like comforts him and stuff, and turns out that he like 2 of his kids were killed, and like that's why he's like that. Granted,
character development that we sure
like,
want.
Yeah,
we're just doing War on Terror just because it's like literally like in the timeline of Invincible, like the reading order. But like there was a previous, they probably addressed that shit in like the previous Super Patriot story that Robert Kirkman did with Corey Walker before they did Invincible. So
sure, and like cool, I guess. I don't care about Super Patriot. I don't like. Listen, Mikey, if we have more of these tangent issues, what are they called? What's the word for these things? Not main story shit. Like
distracting.
I'll read it. I'll read it for you. But man, I don't enjoy these issues.
That's
I really
fine.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. But yeah, so that's Super Patriot, War on Terror. Matt basically just gave our general thoughts on the book. It's an okay book. Like it exists.
Fine.
Yeah.
It looks cool. It's extremely 2000s. It's very much, like Bush era, post 9/11 bullshit. But like
it's pictures on paper. It has words on it.
It sure does have words in there. And there's pictures.
Matt, at least we didn't read the other 3 issues with it because it's a miniseries. So I just the first one. I told bro.
43?
No, 4.
Oh.
Yeah, I just want to do just the first issues just so that the audience can like know who the characters are. So when we reference them later on, they know who they are. So
and they can flip out that.
Yeah. So Christian, you want to talk about Tech Jacket, aka you in a comic?
I guess so. I mean, okay.
Man, that's this whole episode, isn't it?
I really want to talk about these comics, but I guess we have to. All right. So the story begins in outer space with these green, fugly-looking aliens going on some sort of mission that they don't explain, and this Infinity War-ass shit happening versus them and these alien race called the Kresh. The Kresh?
Yeah, it's like the Geldarians are the aliens that are like invincible, and the Kresh are the bad guys.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Do the Kresh become important ever?
I mean, probably in the Tech Jacket books, but like
no. I don't care about Tech Jacket. I mean, in Invincible, Michael. This is called Invincible.
No.
I'm just gonna spoil it. The main character commits mass genocide on the Kresh, so I think it's good.
What?
Bad.
Wait, what?
All right, let me explain.
Yeah, please do.
From the very beginning. All right, so whatever the fuck aliens, the good aliens, I really don't give a shit what they're called.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter.
The green boys.
Yeah, little greens. We'll call them little greens.
Little greens.
They see a Kresh scouting ship, and it seems heavily armored, so they decide to check it out. When they head out, turns out it was an ambush, and I guess the military on that crew, who are called Tech Jackets,
Yeah.
went out and fought the Crush, and they lost.
Yeah.
And a good majority of them died, except for the captain.
Yeah.
So obviously they're pretty upset. Once that happens, we go to Zach, the main character of the story, in high school, dealing with high school shit, and his big ass friend, whose name I really don't care about. And they're talking about
what do we want to call him?
Oh, God. All right, so he's big, and that's his character. That's literally all he is.
He's like, fuck, Mikey. I'm blanking. What's Miles's friend? What's his
Genki?
Yeah.
This is Genki the sequel.
This is Genki the sequel.
Wait, what's his name again?
Like Miles' friend in Spider-Man. Genki.
Genki with a G.
Yeah.
That's a horrible name.
It's a weird name. I don't know. Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, well, this is Genki 2.0. Genki the sequel.
Genki 2.0 and Zach. They're talking about this girl, Rebecca. Zach's like, oh, I'm going to walk Rebecca home. Rebecca, being a bitch, goes for the Chad, who has a car, and is like, oh, my God, yeah, I'll go with you. And then Zach comes in and is like, hey, Rebecca, you ready to go walk with me? And then fucking Rebecca's like, no, fuck you stupid.
I'm with her, though. Chad, whatever his name is, we'll call him Chad. Chad has a car. This dude's like, we're going to walk home together. But fucking no, I'm not walking nowhere. Chad's got a car.
Chad got a car, bro. He got a whip.
Yeah.
Very, very true. Very, very valid points. After poor little Zachy boy's heart's broken,
Yeah, he's so sad.
We go back to the ship with the little greens, and the little greens talk about how their ships got fucked up from the battle and they have to land soon.
Yeah.
And they found a close planet. Guess which one? Fucking Earth, obviously.
I'm sorry. According to Alan the Alien, it's Urat.
Oh, yeah, of course, Urat. My mistake. It's a culture.
I bet you like it, Matt, because you love Alan the Alien.
I do. Alan the Alien is the only character I like in this entire series. I fucking love Alan the Alien.
All right. Okay, go back.
Yeah. So little greens, right? Turns out their ship is good enough to make it there, but it's not good enough to land. So the captain has to land the ship with his tech jacket. So he goes outside and tries to land it, Superman style.
Yeah.
And
because about as well as you expect.
What?
Because about as well as you expect.
Yeah. And as he's trying to land it, we go back to Zach. Zach's dad is working at this hardware store. Apparently, he owes money to the mafia. They come in, break his hand. Zach's like, "Oh no, I can't do anything." Dad,
that's really it. He's like, "Oh no." Dad goes, "Don't tell your mother." He goes, "Okay," and that's the entire scene.
Basically. And then Zach leaves, sees the ship in the sky crash landing, and the captain dying underneath the weight of the ship, his arms and his head sticking out. He's just thinking, God, I fucked up, I failed my mission, but at least no one saw me. And at least
this shows up.
At least the technology here will die with us, and we won't fuck up this planet. And then Zach comes in and is like, "Oh shit, what's happening here?" And then the captain's like, "Well, fuck. All right, this ship's about to fucking explode," and removes his tech jacket and puts it on Zach, and boom, superhero is born.
So Zach. I think this is where we have to talk about the fact that this is exactly the same as Green Lantern.
Oh yeah. I was thinking the entire time.
This dude is Green Lantern in an Iron Man suit, but also Peter Parker.
I kind of thought of it as like either Green Lantern or like Blue Beetle.
I guess it's kind of more Blue Beetle. Yeah. It's maybe like Blue Beetle of Green Lantern and the end of Blue Beetle, like after he gets scared.
Right? Like, sure. I don't know Jaime's backstory.
Oh,
because Ted built the Blue Beetle himself, didn't he?
No. The Blue Beetle in Jaime, that the Scarab is it's alien tech.
Yeah, but Ted built his suit, I think. Ted Cord.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how Jaime got the scarab.
Yeah, it just crash landed and he just latched on him.
Oh, like Green Lantern.
Yeah. So So
Okay.
it's like it's Ben 10, not Ben 10, but it's Ben 10.
It's also Ben 10. Man, every superhero is just Green Lantern.
Exactly. Okay.
God, but after that, of course, as a child, he freaks the fuck out on whatever the fuck is happening with him. And then after he's done freaking the fuck out, he fucks around with the suit. He just does shit. God, I'm just trying to think. Because this comic after that was absolutely so fucking boring. There's nothing memorable happening after that. Like in between him getting the suit and the aliens coming to pick him up to train him on how to use the suit, nothing interesting happens.
Yeah, I mean, if I can remember, I mean, I have it pulled up, but like, I mean,
wait a minute. I'm sorry.
What?
I thought.
What?
First, how much did you read? I thought we were only reading the first 2 issues.
I did read. All right, listen. I didn't know. No one told me it was the first 2 issues. I read 6 issues.
I literally put issues 1 and 2.
Okay. Do you want to hear the rest of the 6? I can give you a really
go for it, dude.
No, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. So training montage happens. Apparently, the suits run on kinetic energy produced by your muscles, right?
That's fine.
The little greens are a little bit racist and realize that humans have faster twitch muscles, so they're superior, not because he's more brolic and
fine.
Getting political on this shit. Anyway, turns out Zach, he's beast with that suit. He's he's like the best tech jacket on that planet. First mission annihilates the Crash. After that mission, Princess, you already know what's gonna happen with him and the alien princess.
Hell yeah.
Flirting. Yeah, flirting, exactly. Gives him a
little green princess.
Yeah, her name's Lee, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, like Lee.
Gotcha.
Yeah. After that, they teleport him inside a Crash military base, and surrounded by Crash, but him being so beast is like, all right, I'll just blow up. And he blew up. And obviously he's fine because it's fucking Zach. And then he flies back to the planet. And guess what? Creature there, fucking blowing the planet up. And he's like, oh shit, I gotta take care of this. And then commits mass genocide on the Crash. Annihilates them.
Wow.
And after that, big ass celebration, second kiss from the princess, heads back home, parents are missing, he thinks it's the mafia, turns out it's not, and after that I was like, fuck it, I don't care how much I was supposed to read, I'm done. This is boring.
Yeah,
interesting. Okay. Yeah, sorry, bro. I didn't know that you misinterpreted it, but I mean,
cool, man.
It sounds like you had fun with it.
Oh, I didn't. I promise you, I did not.
But yeah. So like, just to reiterate for the audience, like we just did the first 2 issues. He just gets you introduce yourself to Zach. He gets the suit. He wears the suit. Basically, that's it. Like, yeah.
Wow, you really did
all
my
we
job
needed. Yeah, which is all we needed. Like that's why.
Michael, what I'm hearing here is that we didn't have to read this.
I mean,
yeah,
he does come back.
Mikey, your actions prove it.
Is that we didn't have to read this?
Matt.
Yeah.
Tech jacket actually plays a big role in one of the events.
Oh really? Because I read 6 fucking issues and it was fucking useless.
You didn't need to. You didn't. You want to? We read 2 of them.
Seriously though, he's pretty beast. Seriously though.
Yeah, no, he does come back in an event. I have to make sure which one, but it's one of the big ones, and he basically has a really cool team up with Invincible. So,
is Spawn in this at all? Does Spawn ever show up?
Because remember, as I said, because they try to look, Image is all one universe, blah. So you'll see these Image characters just pop up in events. They don't speak. Yeah, Spawn does happen. That happens.
I don't like Spawn, but I want to see him in this book anyway.
Yeah. They're like little cameos. Like, there's that character. There's that one. So yeah. So don't worry, you'll see some more. But
You're
yeah.
starting
So
to see Savage Dragon in the Invincible comics, right?
yeah, you
He's
see him.
background
Yeah,
character.
you even see him in the next in the next
Remember?
issue that we're gonna talk about.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
but thoughts on Tech Jacket?
Tech Jacket?
Yeah. This is also EJ Sue as well, and
Yeah.
I think his art's better.
I think the art is better in this book than in Super Patriot. I think it's pretty clean. I like it. It's fine.
I like the way the suits are drawn. Like I like the way the suit designs are.
They designed it like Gundams.
Yeah. I know that like one of my favorite artists, Carl Randolph, he did the second volume of like Super Patriot, and the way he draws that book very well. If you know, Kari Randolph did like he's doing this book right now called Excellence for Image, that you've heard of.
Okay.
He did like We Are Robin. He co-created Mosaic for Marvel.
Okay.
Yeah, so he continued to do Tech Jacket, and he does a really good job.
Man, I can't believe there's multiple volumes of Super Patriot.
I think War on Terror was the last one.
Good.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this book is, granted, the first two issues is just him getting the suit, him using it to a degree, and that's it. That's all I wanted from. That's why I only did 2 issues.
You got hit by a tree once.
He did. I mean, and you find out that like he has these like tendrils that like you can use. He has a fucking laser, like he can jump high and shit. Like
and it's real dope, I guess.
I mean, it's cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the main character kind of looks like me.
He does look like.
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Especially
character with black hair.
Yeah, just like when this podcast is over, and you see the thumbnail, look at the Tech Jacket part. You'll just compare it to Christian. Just compare it to Christian. You'll see, it's Christian. But yeah. So that's Tech Jacket. Now I'm gonna talk about the next Brit one shot.
Yes.
Come out with the enthusiasm,
dude. This issue is so rough, man.
Yeah. Brit, red, white, black, and blue. It's also
real quick. It sucks. I hate it.
Yeah, I mean it's corny as shit, but like.
That being said, the cover is cool.
Cover is dope. I mean, this is I think this is Tony Moore who did the cover.
Okay.
Because he did the first 2 other one shots we talked about. The artist changes to Cliff Rathburn, who I think draws The Walking Dead after Tony Moore leaves. So
really,
I think so. If anyone wants to fact check me, I could be wrong. But
I'm gonna take your word for it. I'm sure if you're wrong, then I was gonna say somebody will tell us in the comments, but that requires someone to watch this, and I'm not sure that's happening. So whatever, we'll see.
Whatever. So the issue starts off with Brit fighting a huge ass sea monster.
Sure.
I think it's a sea monster or whatever. I mean,
monster 12. Let's go with that.
It's a big ass sea monster, and it only happens for a page, and that's it. I mean, it's just him just bursting out of the monster's mouth. It looks pretty cool. Then we cut to Donald. Good old Donald.
God, I love Donald so
much. I love Donald.
He's so great.
Is he though? Okay, why?
No. His son though is actually great, which is basically just a smaller, sassier Donald.
I don't remember it.
Donald shows up in Invincible all the fucking time. Yeah. Donald shows up in Invincible all the time. He's Cecil's secretary or like assistant, I think. If you wanna, I think. Yeah.
No facts check, Mikey. No one's here for the facts.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, whatever. Okay, but anyway, he's talking to his wife. He's basically just like, honey, I'm sorry for being distant. Because I died, but sorry for being distant and ruined our relationship.
Fucking yeah. Can I just explain it? Like, she was like, man, like when you talk to me, it's like a robot. You just have no emotions. And then Donald's just like, hey, I'm a robot. I died. And she's like, what? And then Donald's like, yeah. Anyway, I gotta go.
Yeah. Just imagine you just like, what?
Here's the thing, though. You just summarized that entire conversation in like 3 or 4 sentences, which is good and cool. There's so many words on this page.
Yes.
Listen. I'm a literate person. I know how to read, and I enjoy reading. Sometimes I'm reading a novel or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm reading a novel, motherfucker. There's so many words in here. Why? It's the whole issue. This conversation is terrible, but it's the whole issue. It's so
it does drag on, like affects like the pace of the book because there's so many fucking bubbles. But
so hard to read.
Yeah, but essentially, his ex-wife. He's talking with his ex-wife. He wants to know why the marriage ended. Like, why did she leave? And she was like, "Yeah, we were distant. You acted like a robot." He's like, "Hey, surprise! I died, and I'm basically an android now. Like 98% of my body, is machine because only his brain survived." I don't want to go into the whole backstory because I mean it's cool, but I mean it's whatever. But yeah, but essentially he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Yeah, and it's basically like, "I'm so sorry. Like maybe we can make like, I just want to like get things back the way they are. Like it took me a while to get my emotions back." So, and he has them now. It took him years. So he's like, and he gets a call from Cecil. He's like, he gives her money. He gives her money, and is like, "What's this for?" "Oh, it's for the window." "Why do you need to use the window?" And it just bursts out.
I really want to talk about the art in this part.
Yeah.
He's kind of sideways. You know, like how Superman, you kind of just follow the flow and it's like very smooth. Him, it's kind of just like they cut and paste him where he was laying down sideways and just plopped it in the air and just added lines around him.
It's very static.
Yeah. Very static.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Like it doesn't like flow right. It doesn't look like organic, you know?
And like maybe that's intentional because he's a robot, I guess. But
that's a good way to BS out of that. I like it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Huh, maybe there's thought put into this art. Huh. But anyway,
I think I put more thought into it, but whatever.
You did. You definitely did.
Yeah, but anyway, it transitions to France, where this evildoer guy, we're gonna call him. What should we call this guy? Because I don't.
Which one, the alien or the American?
No, he's not American. He's French.
Oh.
Okay. Can we call him Pepe Le Pew?
Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
I don't know any other French names. I am an ignorant man.
Monsieur. It's his sir.
No, Bon Voyage.
Great, yeah.
So
we're gonna introduce the Bon Voyage.
Very important character.
Yeah, very important character. And he essentially is talking to this mysterious figure about, like our plans are in motion. This invasion's gonna fucking happen, and we're gonna and like he's like, yes, it's happening, blah blah blah, and he's like, he's like, I want my prize after this invasion. I just want America because fuck America. And he's like, don't worry, you will get your America that you despise so much. And it cuts to an alien dude who we also don't know the name of.
Megamind.
Y'all want to name this guy too? What do you want to name this guy?
I just said Megamind.
Yeah, Megamind.
It's Megamind?
It's Megamind. Look at him.
It's gonna only use, what is it? Megamind's not in Pixar, right? It's Illumination.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Because I don't know.
So then it cuts to Megamind being like, the plan will be in motion, and he's an alien and is about to start an invasion on America.
Sure
so then it cuts back to Donald. Donald meets up with Brit, and they're in a warehouse or like a military base. Basically to save the son of his ex-wife, because in the last Brit story, we got introduced to Brit's ex-wife and her husband and their son, who has energy absorption abilities, and they're going out of control. They were killing him. So then basically they're trying to save him by basically absorbing like the sun's rays and like basically destroying
him into the sun, Mikey.
No, I meant before.
Oh, before that. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. They were going to destroy the sun and eventually like cause the human race to go into extinction to save their son. And yeah, Brit killed the husband by chopping his head off. Basically, just was like a carrot. And so we go across the ex-wife, Susan. She's upset with that because obviously Brit killed her husband, and he never apologized. So he's like,
which it's kind of a dick move, but
it really is.
Yeah. Oh man, you bit my husband's head off, and you didn't even fuck you. She wanted to kill him, and eventually she has claws, hands. razor hands or whatever. Yeah, so they're trying to save his son. They're trying to save her son by shooting him into the sun, and so he can absorb the sun's rays and basically like regulate his abilities so it doesn't kill him. And they do that. They shoot him in they shoot him in space. They said it would take him about 9 days for him to get to the sun. And so yeah, so basically that's basically what happens. It's they shoot him into the sun. She's just waiting. And yeah, and also while he apologizes, he coddles her, and we end up meeting Jessica, his Brit's wife, and her baby son, Brittany.
Right.
Brittany's the boy name.
Yeah, Brittany's a boy's name.
Well, apparently he's Brittany Jr., which means Brit's name is Brittany?
That is correct. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, because literally in the last one shot, he was just like, Brittany's a boy's name. He's like, yeah, my parents thought so.
Man, you act like I remember that book. I actively try not to.
But then she sees them and she's like, I told you shouldn't be having lovers without talking to me first. But he's like, it's not like that. Like, I was just calling her because, her son, blah, blah. I killed her husband. It's whatever.
And oddly enough, she doesn't believe it. Like, that's not a normal thing to do. Like, the normal thing is like, oh, yeah, my husband's fucking his ex-wife right now. And I'm okay with it. What I'm not okay with is he didn't tell me.
Exactly.
What the fuck?
So then after the experiment was a success with her son, whose name is, I think, Kid Psionic or something like that. I don't know. Kid Fusion.
That's
cool. Fusion. Okay.
Yeah.
Fusion.
Yeah. It transitions back to Cecil and Donald having a meeting, and essentially Donald wants to basically like apologize for Cecil wants to apologize to Donald for essentially like not telling him that he was a robot because they took out his memories to make sure he didn't remember, and so he's like, you know what, you can have some vacation time, reflect on your new emotions, maybe spend some time with your son and your ex-wife. And Donald's like, yeah, I'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take advantage.
Yeah.
And then and he's like, he appreciates it. And it transitions back to Brit and Jessica and Brit Jr. Brit Jr. And basically like Jessica's parents are coming over for dinner, and they do. And essentially they basically just have dinner, and he's like, oh, so what did you do today, Brit? How was the day going? It's like, oh yeah, I sent my ex-wife's son into space, and I think I fought a sea monster today. And he's like, and the dad was like, I always forget who the fuck I'm talking to.
Did you
bless that?
Teasing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they have dinner and basically like going through their day and catching up. And yeah, then it transitions back to Donald going back to his ex-wife's house. Basically was like, hi, I got some vacation days. Can we talk, spend some time together? And she's like, yeah, we can do that. So they're essentially going to rekindle their relationship.
Cool.
It comes back to Susan.
I'm very excited for Donald to rekindle his relationship with his wife.
Yeah, me too. God,
me too, bro.
So much. Happy you're as excited as I am.
Oh,
yeah, man. I'm feeling the hype. I'm feeling the hype coming off of
so excited for Donald.
No, listen.
Donald.
I like Donald in Invincible. He's great.
Donald.
but anyway, this is back to Susan. She's still in the military base. Essentially, like she's not gonna leave until she gets report back of her son being okay and sent back to Earth. And he was like, hey, we can put a hotel for you. He's like, no, I just need to be here. So she's gonna wait fucking 9 days until her son comes back in this dead military base. Then it transitions back to Megamind, and they're about to start the invasion. And it's just like, yeah.
And don't forget.
What?
Bon Voyage.
Okay, yeah.
Bon Voyage is also there.
Yeah, but
yes.
So like talking about Bon Voyage is like, Matt, were you gonna say something?
I think it's worth noting at this point that this is a double-sized issue. It's like 48 pages. At this point, we're about halfway through, and so far, nothing has happened.
Yeah.
Nothing has happened. God, I hate this fucking book.
They shot a quote from the sun. What more content do you want? What more content?
Oh, you're right. And also, Donald reconnected with his wife. That's right. This is a great
have Donald.
So much character
Yeah.
development.
It's so good and fun and good and great.
Yeah. So Megamind and Bon Voyage are having a conversation about their invasion, and he's like, "Okay, a plan's in motion. We're gonna take over America. It's gonna be fun." And he's like, "Don't worry, Ryan's here." And then Megamind points to his giant UFO, and yeah, invasion.
Yeah, you're right.
So then what happened next.
So then it goes back to Brit's home. They basically just finished having dinner. They're just talking, and essentially what happens is like Brit's dad and Jessica's father and Brit are having a conversation, and Brit, her dad is like, "Wait a minute, hey now, I see something." He's like, "What do you?" He's like, "What do you mean? Like, don't worry about it." It's like words like it's. But it turns out it's a fucking, and an explosion happens. Oh shit. And I think Jessica's dad's injured, or like he slams on the ground really hard, and I thought he was injured or something. But eventually he's like, "Okay, shit's popping off. Go to the damn basement." And he's like, "Wait, this place has a basement?" It's like, "Yeah, of course this place has a basement." And essentially, it's like the same issue with the cabin in the last one shot.
Cool.
And then it cuts back to a what?
You're so into it. You're just so done with this fucking comic. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Matt.
All right.
Get this
transition.
Keep going, Mike. Keep going.
Donald and his wife had sex.
They fucked.
Yeah,
he says, "Donnie, you're a machine. Get it? It's funny because he's actually a machine." Ha 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 ha! I want to die. Keep going.
Yeah, but anyway, now going back to what Christian said earlier about Donald's son, who's literally a clone. He's a clone of Donald. It's so Donnie. Donald Jr., aka Donnie. Playing. I'm assuming it's a GameCube or a PlayStation.
Let's go with NES. Classic.
Yeah. That's what people were playing in the 2000s.
Yeah.
And then an explosion happens at their home, and then he's like, "Oh shit, what's happening?" Like the wife's freaking out, and the son's like, "I just want to go back to playing my GameCube," and it's just like, and he's like, "Oh shit, we gotta fucking go." So then Donald essentially boosts out of the window with his wife and his son, and his dad's like, and the son is basically like, "Hey dad, what the hell?" And when I first read this, I thought it was because he's a fucking android. And they burst out the window, but no, he's grabbing him by his dick while they're flying.
Sure is, guys. Man. He grabbed his son by his dick, guys.
Shut the fuck up.
Guys, Donald grabbed his clone son by his dick, though. Is that masturbation or incest? I don't know, but I hate it.
But
cry.
Okay. Now because of the war popping off, it's basically popping off all over the world. People are dying. But I think I don't know where the fuck they are. I think they're in DC or something.
Yeah, they're in Washington.
Yeah, they're in Washington. They're basically figuring out a strategy to see where are the Guardians of the Globe? What's happening? Explosions. Michael Bay.
It went down in the book. Yeah.
So then they make a plan. Brit, Donald, and Susan are basically just gonna go on the front lines trying to stop these aliens. And they do that. Brit, and essentially, Bon Voyage is in the White House. He's like, "I'm enjoying my new office." And then essentially, explosion, war. They're fighting people, and they say like Brit describes these aliens as like, "I love this shit because they're easy to punch. They pop like fucking water balloons."
They're squishy.
And then Donald's like, "Oh my god, you're right." So then they start fighting. And these are like really cool like action pages too. And then
and Savage Dragon's in it.
Yeah, and we see some other characters from not only the Invincible Universe, but the Image Universe. So we see Savage Dragon, like, fucking flick off a head. And I'm just like, damn, son. So,
yeah, man. If I like Savage Dragon, I bet that'd be really cool.
yeah. Yeah, so Savage Dragon shows up. We see the new Guardians of the Globe, which includes Invincible, Rexplode, and I don't know who the dude in the fucking skirt is.
Dude in the skirt?
Yeah, like the Aki bro in like the skirt who's punching in the panel with Invincible and Rexplode.
I am 90% positive that's Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay, well, it's Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist. And we also do see Robot as well. Robot, good old Robot. Then the next panel we see the Capes Incorporated people. So we got Bull, Kid Thor, Knockout, Commander Capitalism. Yeah.
Who is the chick with the giant boxing gloves? And also giant things. Who is she?
Knockout.
Yeah, Knockout.
Yeah,
She's
she's a part of Capes Incorporated and is like interest for Kid Thor.
We've seen her before, right?
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they do acknowledge that she has big boobs in the fucking in the comic and Capes too.
They're not real.
Yeah, they are not real. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so at least these action sequences show like, hey guys, these are connected. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so interesting.
Yeah, Susan dies.
She sure does.
Yeah. Susan dies.
And we care.
Yeah, we definitely care about.
Oh, yeah. I shed a single tear.
Yeah,
because I was so reading this book.
Yeah. So his ex-wife Susan gets killed. Donald also gets really fucked up, and essentially he's basically like taking all the aliens, Brit's taking on all the aliens on by himself. He's like, we have to defeat them somehow. Like we gotta beat them, blah blah blah. And then conveniently,
Captain Marvel comes in,
yeah,
and destroys everything.
Yeah,
that's exactly what happened.
Honestly, like literally Endgame. It's such an Endgame moment. And yeah, kid.
Well, here's the difference, though, Mikey. Here's the difference, though. Endgame's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
trying to say that
Fusion
not a
can
masterpiece?
Yeah.
Are we trying to say?
No, I like Endgame. This issue's not a masterpiece.
No, I'm saying that.
Oh wait, you think Brit's red, white, black, and blue is better than the Avengers Endgame?
Yeah, it is perfection. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has nothing.
Matt, wait for it. Chef kiss. Anyway, so like conveniently, Kid Fusion was done with his energy absorption hibernation bullshit, and he comes down in Captain Marvel fashion and wrecks the UFO, and basically like, and it cuts to Cecil meeting with Bon Voyage at the White House, and honestly though, and Cecil was basically just says, I don't really like getting my hands dirty, but I'll make an exception for you, and basically chokes this man out off panel. Which is true, because Cecil doesn't really do dirty work in Invincible. He just lets other people do his shit for him, as like a Nick Fury should.
Sure.
Which I
Coach
find
doesn't play, man. The coach doesn't play.
Yeah, so essentially, he even said, Kid Fusion from our analysis is gonna end this in 18 minutes. So like, yeah, you're done. So it cuts back to Kid Fusion and the whole battlefield, and they're just recuperating. And Kid Fusion was like, "Wait a minute, where's my mom? She's worried about me." And then Brit's like,
I hate this scene so goddamn much.
Yeah.
I've got good news and I've got bad news.
The good news is we won. The bad news is, your mom died, bro. I'm sorry, I couldn't protect her. It's a huge loss. It's a huge loss.
Her head got super exploded. It was real.
Yeah.
If it's Kid Fusion's fault, he took his sweet ass time being resurrected.
Exactly. He took his sweet ass time to recuperate and hibernate in the sun.
Could have been a day, even an hour, even like a couple minutes earlier. Would have been alive. Selfish.
Yeah. So So then immediately, as a kid who lost his mom does, blames the nearest person, and he blames Brit for his mother's death, and is like, "You killed her. I'm going to kill you." And then Brit's like, "No." Yeah, Brit was like, "No, you dumbass. If you exert your power, you're gonna die." And he dies while trying to fight Brit.
Yeah, he just unleashes all of his energy and just slowly turns into pencil lead because that's what you do.
Straight up, I found it so funny. Brit snaps this kid arm off because he burned his entire body, and it's just like,
and
he does it naked because
that's how Brit rolls. That's why it's so good. Fan service.
But then the very best part of this issue happens. My favorite part of this issue, Brit quits.
Yeah.
He's
Brit's
done.
just like, because after the trauma, after the bullshit he went through like the first two one-shots and the trauma of losing his ex-wife, he's like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. Deuces. And then quits at the end.
Good riddance.
And it shows Donald. I love Donald's face because his face is just so fucked up.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, but yeah, that's the end of Brit, Red, White, Black, and Blue. It's an issue that exists.
It certainly does.
But the only thing that's going for is that the art's really good, though. I do like Cliff Rathbun's art.
Yeah, the art's good.
Yeah,
I like it. It's
like,
this issue's 48 pages long. It could have been told in the standard issue. It could have been 20. It could have been 20 pages. There's so much nonsense going on in this book.
Yeah.
I mean, I take this as a personal attack because I love this so much. It's things that I love so much. It's a personal attack, so fuck you.
I'm sure you wish it was even longer. I'm sure you wish it was 96 pages long.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but it's an issue. I mean, there's action in it that looks cool. I mean, it visually looks nice. That's like the only thing going for it. But like, yeah, what Matt said, it's very Bendisian. It's like a lot of reading and words and bubbles. So
it's very dry. It's not good. It's not good comics.
Yeah. I mean, the only redeeming part was that, like, you see the Guardians of the Globe and capes in it, and Savage Dragon, I guess. But like,
man, I guess.
That's a big stretch, man.
Yeah, but okay, so that's done. Lastly, we're gonna talk about the Image Summer Special, which is a very short, little issue. And noted on the cover, it's drawn by Silvestri of him, and it was a free comic book day thing. So like, it was a free comic book day thing released. I don't know, I forget when it was released. Probably like 2003, 2004, somewhat, maybe around that time frame.
It's drawn by Otley.
No, I meant the cover. The cover of the Image Special is drawn by Mark Silvestri, who's obviously known for like Witchblade, Cyberforce, Image Founder, yada yada yada, Top Cow. Yeah. And on this cover we see Savage Dragon, Invincible, Spawn, and Witchblade. So those are the stories that are going to be composed here. We skipped through all of that shit, so we're just gonna go to them. We're just gonna go to the Invincible stuff because this directly takes place after issue 8 and is like a brief aftermath of the fight with Omni-Man. Just seeing how Invincible's dealing with the issue with his father, and essentially,
Mikey, you want to know a secret?
What?
I really liked this story.
I mean, yeah,
really?
It's something that like Robert actually cares about writing.
Yeah.
So we'll get into it. So it cuts to the Pentagon. We're seeing Cecil. Cecil is being essentially the guy, being the Nick Fury that he is, talking to Mark while he's doing the mission. Mark is fighting a villain known as the Furnace, which we've seen before. I think he was in Capes briefly that Bolt and them fought. I'm just saying, just doing it just because of timeline. So he's fighting Furnace, and basically he's just like, I have more important things to do, so I'm just gonna kick your ass now. And he does that, and he defeats Furnace. And basically he's like, while talking to Cecil, Cecil's like, okay, you're off the hook. I think you're good when it comes to the missions for today. I apologize for taking you out of school for this. So you're good, man. Just enjoy the free time that you have now. Enjoy school. Mark is like, thanks, Cecil. And so it cuts back to him in school. I love how like it's the same like trash area where like him and Adam Eve got changed into, where they went off to the mission. So he goes in, changes, goes back to school, sneaks in, and is like, "Yeah, I got this. I'm just gonna sneak back to my class with no noticing." The principal catches him though. And basically he's basically like, "Mark, you're not walking around without a hall pass, all right?" And it's like, damn it, so close. So then it cuts to Mark at the principal's office, and basically the principal gives him a spiel. Is like, "Listen, Mark, you're not doing very well. You're like, what is like you're skipping class. Your grades are slipping. You're not really, the teachers are telling me you're not really paying attention in class most of the time. It's like you're preoccupied doing something else." And he's like, "Listen, I don't want to have another Williams situation. I know it's like, I know Williams your friend, but like it took him a while and a lot of hard work for him to be getting accepted to college. And I know you're accepted to college, and I know you and him just got accepted to Upstate University, but like, come on, man." And I don't want to be insensitive, but like, I understand that your dad died. So like, I mean, I know it's rough for you right now, but I just want you to, at least graduate strong, even though your life's already set. But I wanted to graduate strong and be focused. And he's like, "You know what? I appreciate it. Don't worry about me. Like, I got it." And then,
Yeah. Real quick, I like that page a whole lot where it shows the flashback to him getting rocked by his papa. I think that page is really good. I think it really conveys like how Mark is feeling. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that page is super good, and I love Otley's art, dude.
I'm telling you, this is early Otley. You're not ready, bro. You're not ready for later.
I'm really happy that you mentioned that. Like in the beginning, it was nice, intense hints of red, and I really liked that image. And they brought it back with it, and it really made you feel like, this is like a mental scar. This isn't like just for me. It's to get me in Invincible's head that like, oh, this is fucked up, and it's been fucking me up.
Like the red really associates with like emotional like pain in this story, and it's very good. And I like how, as we said way earlier in the episode, that like they covered it up by saying that like he got into a car accident and he died. And I love how like he just says, he's saying like, "Yeah, a car crash," and it transitions to those panels that Matt's talking about. It's very well done. Very well done.
This page is masterful comics. I also like that. Just talk about the scene a little bit longer. The principal, his when he's talking to Mark on the page before, his thought bubbles are very dense and they're very packed. And then Mark says a few sentences, and that contrast, I think, is it's I think realistic, but also that along with the colors and everything else really helps you get into Mark's head. I don't know, man.
Because it basically, I know what you're talking about. Because it basically shows that like those two huge bubbles where like Matt's talking more like it's packed with words. Is how Mark is basically experiencing like he's listening, but like he's just making this guy drag on. Because like he's just not really focusing on it. And granted, he's an adult, so he's just gonna like go on and on and on about like learning your life lesson, blah blah blah. Giving the spiel. So I agree. It's smart. It's very smart. And technical. But yeah, he essentially is like, "You know what, I'm dealing with it. Don't worry about me. I'll be okay." He transitions him like classes, school's over. He's walking outside. He runs into Amber, who is his recent like fling that he's been having, and she's asked him, "Hey, like Mark, you want to study?" And he's like, "We don't really have to study if you want. I just haven't hung out with you ever since like your dad died. Like I haven't been there for you." And he's like, "I can't." It's like I have a lot of. I just want to be alone. Like with my mom right now, we just want to like just let us deal with this, but we'll hang out. Don't worry, like I haven't forgotten about you. And then he leaves, and then now it transitions to Mark and Deborah. They're having dinner, and this actually like made me really sad. Like it's so good, and it's just like essentially is like he's like I'm like looking at like the comment right now just to see if I can remember. But essentially his mom is just like saying he's like I think after everything that he did, like I just like when I'm going throughout my day, I just forget what happened, and like it feels that things are going back to normal. But when like it comes to moments like this where like it's just me and you, and I always expect him to come back like he always does, to swoop in at the last second for dinner, and like but obviously, like, but that's not happening, and it's just hard to deal with. And then Mark was actually saying it's like, Mom, like I know it's the same way. Like every time I'm going out and patrolling, I always expect Dad to be there. Like it was always me and him like side by side, and like the fact that he's not there now, it's just like every time. And then like when the fights are over, I like that's when I remember like it hits for me, and it's just like, Mom, I don't know if I can deal with this. Like I don't know if I can ever like continue dealing with this. It's just so hard, and and like the shot is like Mark's face, and it means like I'm not sure. I'm not so sure, Mom. I'm not so sure. And then it ends, and it's just like, damn. Like it really shows that like it feels very real for a superhero story. That like he lost his father, and like he's just dealing with it, like
Yeah,
like,
it's very raw.
It's very raw.
It was definitely easy for him to be like, oh, these characters are just super mad at the father. But yeah, no, this is definitely a real reaction when someone you love, all of a sudden you realize that they're a bad person.
Yeah.
You know?
And that like they've lied to you your entire life. Like
yeah, and also the concept with change that it's just like, oh yeah, you go with your whole entire life thinking, oh, this is the same, and like next thing I know, this person's gonna show up, and they don't show up. It's really impressive.
It's
Like this whole comic really hit the nail on the head with emotions, and I think the best part is like I haven't read it in a while, but it instantly got me back into like the feels of it. Like, oh shit, I care about these characters again. Oh shit, it feels wow. It's great. The immersion of it was great.
Yeah, and it's just like there's a lot of like emotional stuff, like the small moments like these throughout the main story of Invincible, and it's just like it's so well done. Like it's like Kirkman knows when he cares about something, like when he wants a reader to feel something, you feel it. Like it's so good.
Yeah.
This is just 6 pages. This is a short story, and we're already like, damn. Like,
right? It's only 6 pages. That's all you need. It's so good.
It's almost as good as Brit, who could do less than that in 20 pages.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, but so like overall thoughts of the Image summer special story?
It's really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
It's the only good one that we read today.
Yeah, it's so like it's the smallest thing that we have. It's the shortest thing, but it's the best thing out of all of the books that we've talked about.
Good.
By far.
Yeah.
He really flexes his muscles with storytelling. With that one.
Yeah. So I mean, guys, that's it. That's all that we have for today. I mean, any final thoughts that anyone wants to talk about of the books or anything like that?
Man, I'm just, especially after reading the summer special, I'm really excited to get back into the main story.
I mean, definitely. I think it's like I mentioned this to the like off screen, but like the next episode of the next like up to episode 10 is all just main story now. Like after this is all main story. So, and we'll be seeing more characters, seeing new characters. We'll maybe be. I'm not sure if we see these characters mentioned coming back just yet. Well, maybe Brit, but like not Tech Jacket yet, or like Super Patriot. Super Patriot will come back just for that same panel that happened in his book. But it's gonna be just dope from after this. I mean, Alan of course comes back, and it's just
I'm very excited.
A lot of like ever since Omni-Man leaves, that's when shit just starts going. Like that's like first 8 issues was the slow part. Now it's gonna go up. It's gonna go up and up and up from here now.
I'm excited.
Slow burn, gentlemen, but we're almost there.
I'm excited. I'm so excited.
And we'll be seeing more like adventures of like the new Guardians of the Globe and like all this other stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be wonderful. It's gonna be great. Yeah, but these issues, I mean, they exist. I put in there because chronologically they're in the timeline, but like they're gonna introduce us to these characters. So if we mention them, y'all know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna do this thing, we might as well do it right.
Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah.
We really don't have to.
Be grateful I didn't make
We
a
never needed to
real
do
whole like story for Super Patriot. So,
No one asked for this.
but
For you.
yeah. So that's it for this episode. The next episode which is episode 6. We'll be talking about the head of class story arc, which is going to be issues 14 through 19.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Also, I remember I seen this earlier, like the first episode, but like every trade is named after a sitcom. I've never heard of this head of class sitcom ever in my life. So
Neither have I.
yeah. So but back on main story. It's gonna be great. Hope we can get Damone back on with us next time.
I think so.
Yeah. So we're good. I don't know what the outro is. Do we have an outro that we've done? Like
I don't think we have an outro.
Doing a new one. What you guys got to do? Remember, everyone, stay safe. Wear a mask. Eat your vitamins.
Yeah.
Don't die. And don't spit in people's faces because fuck COVID.
Hey,
Exactly.
fuck COVID.
Fuck COVID.
Yeah.
And also, most importantly, to quote one of my favorite YouTubers, wash your damn hands.
You're nasty.
All right, guys.
Okay, bye-bye.
Get home safe.
Bye. Get home safe.
Get up
Is
safe.
that her? Was that